Okay, so now I'm going to tell you guys what exactly happened yesterday at the park with this man. So, I vlogged yesterday, and you can go back and look. I did vlog and kind of told you guys exactly what happened, but then didn't really give the details. So, after I checked out of the Baymont Hotel where we were staying last week, I decided to go sit in the park. And for a while, I was sitting under the covered area where there was picnic tables. I was drinking my tea from Dunkin' Donuts that I had gotten for breakfast, and I filmed a couple of videos while I was sitting over there. Now, it was just a mess, and it still freaks me out to this day. Sorry about that falling. It still freaks me out. Now, this guy had pulled in to a parking space while I was sitting in the area where the picnic tables are, and he was an older gentleman. I didn't feel uncomfortable with him being there at first, and then he was there for maybe an hour and a half, and he had this little spray bottle. I don't know what was in the spray bottle, and he had little microfiber cloths, and he was spraying different parts of his car and just using the microfiber cloths to wipe them off. And what ended up happening was he was doing that for an hour and a half, like I said. And after I got done filming a couple of videos at the picnic tables, in those videos, you can tell the wind is a little bit, it's a little bit kind of picked up. And I didn't have a hoodie on. It was in the 60s yesterday, but with the wind, it made it feel colder than that. So I ended up going back to the car to just sit in the car after I had been sitting at the picnic tables for maybe an hour and a half. So I go back to the car, I lock the door, and then I'm talking to my friend Garrett. And he lives in Oregon. So I was talking to him on Snapchat, and we were just kind of talking about normal stuff. We usually message back and forth on an almost daily basis, just kind of talking to each other, seeing how we're each doing. We support each other with our PTSD, and we kind of just help each other deal with life. So I was talking to him, and then this man that was wiping off his car was continuing to do that. And then I don't know what he was doing, but for some reason he got in his car and moved his car to a different parking spot, and he was waving at me, and I don't know who this man was. I have no clue who he was, but he was waving at me. And he pulled, if I was in a car right now, I'm parked this way. He was parked facing me. And I do have a short Snapchat video that I sent my mom because I was trying to show her how empty the park was. There's this dude over here who pulled into the parking lot and has been wiping his car off and spraying it with stuff ever since. It's empty. I was sitting over there in that little covered area where the picnic tables are. And so his car was not in the spot directly across from me, facing me, but he was one or two spots over facing me. And he waved at me, and then he pulled over into a parking spot on the side so that his car was facing my passenger window. And he got back out of his car, got the spray bottle again, opened his trunk, and I I started feeling really uncomfortable because I don't know what this man is doing. I don't know what he wants. I don't know why he has his trunk open. I don't know why he has this spray bottle. I don't know why he's been spraying down his car for an hour and a half, and he pulled over to a different spot to continue doing it. So I got uncomfortable, and so I just decided to put my seatbelt on and leave. So I went to the other entrance of the park because I didn't really want to drive around and sit in like empty parking lots or sit in the parking lot of a store all day long like I had last week when we moved into the Baymont. So I went over to the main entrance of the park, which is where I always go to like walk. We picnic there, and it was flooded. Like part of the park was flooded because we've gotten a lot of rain. And so I was going to take some pictures of the flooded area. And this, excuse my language, but this motherfucker followed me to the park. Okay? He followed me to the park. I pulled in. Now, the main entrance of the park has more parking space than the part that I was in initially. So when you go into the main entrance of the park, there's like a little road that goes down a hill, and there's a row of parking in the front, then there's 2 rows of parking in the middle, then there's 2 more rows, and then there's one last row. And so I didn't go in the last row, but I went in like the 4th or 5th row of parking. And I sat there and I waited because I saw like a few cars coming into the park. And as I was sitting there, I just felt like this, like, I don't even know how to explain it, this feeling like my stomach just dropped because I saw his car pulling in. And, I've never had something like that happen to me before where I was being followed, but he pulled up right next to me, and I was getting ready to get out so I could take pictures of the flooded area like I was saying. And as soon as I saw his car, I just could not. I closed the door, locked it, put my seatbelt back on, and pulled out of that parking lot as soon as I saw him. And he looked right at me, and he followed me. As I was coming out of the parking lot of the main entrance of the park, I called my mom because I didn't know what to do. I've never been followed like that before, and it was like, it freaked me out. Obviously I was alone, and I drove out of the park and I headed to Walmart because I know that there's a police officer that's pretty much been stationed at Walmart ever since the pandemic. Like normally at night, our police officers would handle the doors at Walmart instead of having like Walmart's people greeters. But lately they've had people greeters plus police officers at Walmart. So I went to Walmart because I knew there would be a police officer there, and he followed me every single turn all the way to Walmart. And when I got to Walmart, I pulled in, and I tried to pull in like between 2 cars to try to hide myself a little bit. And I saw his car just circling around the side lot where I was parked at. And so I told my mom, I am going to get out of the car. I'm going to hang up with you in case I have to run. I don't want to drop my phone. And I went straight into Walmart, and I told the police officer what was going on. And so this officer came outside with me, and as soon as this man saw the police officer, I kid you not, he took off, like speeding. And the police officer was able to get the last 2 numbers of his license plate, but that is so creepy. Like, I don't know if he was trying to abduct me. I don't know if he was going to try to rape me. I have no idea. Like, human trafficking is a real thing. And I don't know this man. Like I said, I have no clue who he was. I've never seen him before. And I was like, my anxiety was just off the charts yesterday, even after I picked my husband up from work, because I didn't know if he had like written down my license plate or what. Like, I was scared. I was scared. I didn't know what to do. And I don't know. I made a police report. So then, there's evidence that this has happened. But that is some scary shit. I know that other women that I know have said that similar things have happened to them in the past, but it's scary. Like, if it's never happened to you, I hope that it never does, but you need to make sure that you're aware of your surroundings, because it could happen to any of us, and I don't want anybody to be taken away from their family and their loved ones because of some crazy ass person who could care less about you, who just wants to use you for whatever reason. Just be careful. Like, I am afraid to even go to the park by myself now. And I was having a good day. Like, I was having a good morning. I was, just filming my videos, and I was trying to warm up, and then I was going to go out and probably go for a walk around the little park area there. Not after that. I don't feel comfortable going to the park alone anymore. Like, that's scary. Anyways, I just wanted you guys to know, like, the full story of what happened. I'm sorry that this turned into a longer video, but I felt like I needed to share it to kind of get it off my chest and push it out of my mind, hopefully, because I've been thinking about it ever since it happened. So hopefully now my mind will be a little bit more at peace, and hopefully I can move on from that. But anyways, that's all I have to share. Let me know if this has ever happened to you, and if it has, what did you do in the situation? I'll talk to you guys again next time.